It's been a few years since the end of that sham conflict. Once the smoke cleared, vast ruins were discovered, a minority ethnic group living among them. An international study team was organized and sent to classify the ruins. A small number of armed guards were also sent. I was bored of the immediate peace and took comfort in talking to our local guides. I was most interested in one in particular, an old man who stood apart from the others. The old man was a member of the indigenous tribe and one of its few survivors of the armed conflict. The ruins they lived around were considered sacred, places they didn't want outsiders stepping in. But, with the tribe scattered, the old man admitted he couldn't protect them anymore. It seemed that to participate in the survey was better than to leave it desolate. When I got to know the old man, he brought me a request. Bring the only treasure of the tribe, hidden in the ruins, home. I felt sorry for him, and that evening I met up with him and headed for the shrine just outside of the ruins. At the old man's urging, I stepped into the shrine. Right after, tree roots shot out from the ground, covering and closing the entrance. From outside of the shrine, I faintly heard the old man's voice. The hole has closed. The offering has been made.
暗い密林の奥で一人の老人に導かれた男は荒れ果てた祠を目にした。崩れた石積みにうがたれた穴の向こうにはただ闇だけが広がっていた。穴の中へと足を踏み入れる男の背後で老人はかすかに笑みを浮かべる。そしてまた一人供物が暗黒に捧げられた。
Welcome everybody to Shadow Tower Abyss. Let's start a new game. So a couple of things about starting the game. Because this is a pre-Souls game, if you are playing this from the first time as a Souls player, then there's a couple of things you probably should know before starting. We're going to bump the brightness up to 55 or so. Circle is okay, X is square. I will screw this up from time to time because I am used to hitting X to exit things or to interact with things, but circle is interact. Controller settings. It's defaulted to the Kingsfield controls, because this was FromSoft's default control scheme, even from before there were sticks on PlayStation DualShock. So, yes, I can do it now that I've played a few Kingsfield games, but I much prefer the Souls controls, which are Type 4, actually. So it's not actually the Souls controls, let's call them what they are, but the Shadow Tower Abyss controls. So, yes, Type 4 is the way to go. I'm gonna lower the BGM a little bit, even though there isn't really background music. And let's start.
かつてその森の奥には一つの国があった。不可思議な力と儀式をもって民を治めた王は傍らに異形の槍を携えていたという。王 は槍の力によって諸国を平らげ、王国に未曾有の繁栄をもたらしたが、その陰でひそやかに行われた儀式のことを知る者はなかった。遥かな時の果て、槍の王の名が伝承の中にすらおぼろげとなった今、一人の老人に導かれたある男がその地を訪れた。
So we find ourselves in the Shadow Tower, tricked into it by the old man. But at least there's a torch? Or maybe not. Let's let our eyes adjust. The exit is now strangely overgrown. And the torch is out. The shrine that the old man, as we learn from the manual, is a survivor of a ethnic minority group from the area that survived a war, a proxy war. Our protagonist calls it a sham. He is tricked into it by the old man guide, because after the war ended, they found these ruins. They being the international community. They found these ruins, and they sent a whole bunch of people to go excavate them. And the old man took a liking to our character and tricked him inside. But strangely, these are hundreds of years old roots. I guess that's a mystery we'll find out later. But the shrine itself is very much like Angkor Wat, very much Bed of Chaos. The torch is out, but there looks like there's some writing up here, so let's take a look. The king dwells in his dark tower. We endure the ages, but he no longer visits us. You who were offered to the darkness seek his spear. Only the spear bearer commands us. Only he may leave the abyss. So, evidently, the tribe that lived around the ruins here got something in return for their sacrifices. And there's been many sacrifices over time. There is no background music in Shadow Tower. There are musical stingers, and there is ambient noise, much like the original Shadow Tower. And where the original Shadow Tower's prologue is kind of humorous, where our protagonist only entered the tower because he was mistaken for somebody else, and he really wanted his grandmother's food, our protagonist here is here on a much more serious mission, and a much more serious guy. Worn down statues. That could have been bad, and if you're fast enough, you could get killed by that. Part of the tradition of FromSoft killing you in the first 20 seconds of the game. There's some lizards up here. I wonder what they're after. They're probably trying to find their way out too. How did we end up here, in a place like this? Hurry deeper, kill them all. No way out. Here. And he is predictably dead. But he left us a parting gift, and that is a knife. Very important for this opening tutorial round. So let's equip that and explain the menu. That's a lot of attributes, huh? It's actually a lot more simple than you might think. The top half, stamina, dexterity, that's all physical. Slash, break, pierce, it's all physical. Magic downward is all magic stuff, and basically they are exactly the same thing from the top except for magic. So, like, concentration is the same as vitality, mentality is the same as strength, etc., etc. It's not as difficult as you might think it is. You have total weight, which is very important in this game. We have our data book, which will tell us about how far we've gone in the maps. And as we look at the data book, it is called The Shrine Below the Forest. Our equipment. You can see how many slots we have for equipping things, and equipping things will add to our attributes. Much like the original Shadow Tower, killing things gives us a growth pattern, and it will assign new points to us as we kill things. So the only bit of self-directed experience point gain is through soul pods, which are found throughout Tower. You can get a soul pod for either like 5 or 10, and you can toss them into wherever you want, but normally it is a growth pattern given to you by killing enemies. We have a government M1911, and we can see the data for how much it gives us. It gives us 7 break and 57 pierce. And from our guide, we can see a small bit of lore. Now, given that there are 500 different items and weapons in Shadow Tower Abyss, the item descriptions are predictably not that big. They're about, like, a sentence, half a sentence. So don't expect a whole lot from that. Triangle will get you out, and we can equip on our left hand our knife. So let's do that, and exit out. The only other bit to our menu here is the little man on the right hand corner. You can see the status of your armor pieces. If they go red, they're close to breaking, and you don't want things breaking in Shadow Tower. You want to switch those as soon as you see them go red, and then sell the rest, unless you have something you really like. We'll get to that as we get there, because there's a lot of strategic thinking that has to go into the survival aspects of Shadow Tower and Shadow Tower Abyss. So what is highlighted is our gun. Hitting triangle will highlight our new dagger. Daggers, being a small melee weapon, will gain our stamina. Stamina is denoted by the circles on top of the small bars. The top bar is your health, the bottom bar is your MP. MP doesn't factor in new game pretty much until the very end, so don't worry about it. 3 dots are your stamina. Daggers have a set number of moves. Bigger swords have a set number of moves. The dots will switch over to bullets, and those are still stamina. A number of bullets in a magazine, but it's still stamina. And the stamina will regain slower or faster depending on how big of a weapon you've gotten. Since we've got a dagger, it's very fast. So we're coming up upon our first enemy, which is called a gulp. Gulps their description is in the manual, so we have a little bit to go on here. But they fight in groups, and they're kind of cowardly. He's leading us further in. Looks like we got a critical there, because usually it takes 2. But we have to be very careful. So each of the bumpers and the triggers have a different move to the moveset, so you actually have 4 different moves in your weapon. Sweep attacks and poke attacks. Pretty good, actually. He dropped a hat, and there's another hat right here. This guy seems to have died with a root coming out of his chest. Not the best way to go. And he isn't hiding anything. So let's see what we got. We had 2 hats. So let's see what's the best one. This one adds 26 to our health. And the other one adds 52 to our health. And some other things. On the whole, this hat is better. We're going to take that one. There are lots of things hiding in the grasses, so I'm going to be kind of annoying and cut the grass. No one's going to pay me for it, and that's unfortunate, but... As always, the light will show you the way. But we have to be very careful. We don't know what's behind a corner. And we don't know what the GURPS are capable of. That's a healing item. Healing items will get you back to full. So you don't want to use them willy-nilly. And enemies do respawn, just so you know. Looks like he's still alive right here. Don't know for how much longer. Let's see if we can't get to him. While exploring. Shadow Tower does reward exploration quite a bit. Looks like we've already been through there. This is a Cune. Cunes are currency. Do you wonder where his head went? It's over here. Looks like there's something over there. Don't know if we'll be able to get to it. I have to be very careful. There is a sub-boss around here. First time I've hit the wrong button. He's got some ammo, suggesting that you should probably use ammo on the next enemy. Once again, I hit the wrong button. Does the boat go to the tower? They got the others, must find the spears soon. Looks like this was written in his own blood. One of them is a sub-boss, and it hurts a lot. You walk slower with your gun out. And that is the sub-boss handled. He leaves us a coat, which we'll put on immediately. But there was a dead body around here. I want to check it out. Hewn. Body. He's got a heal potion, which will definitely come in handy. Some ammo. Oh, went the wrong way. This happens a lot. Sucks that the sub-boss respawned. There is an excellent source of dread that kind of goes on here within this game. Especially when you're playing for the first time. And I'm not sure if that's because of the first person or the lack of background music. We get ourselves a piece of ammo and another dead body, and we come to our very first save point. All of our interactive points are in little altars like this all throughout the tower, and so finding these are a godsend at in some points. Here's our first variant, baby undead ghosts. Looks like the rest of the Gulp tribe are attempting to keep them okay. You have to wonder what is keeping them alive. Oh look, we've come from behind that group that we saw earlier. Do not kill! Capture! we can see, our dagger is now in a bad way. And I've had to use 2 healing potions, which sucks, but it is what it is. We get ourselves some loot. So, our new jacket gives us 24 more health at the cost of strength and dex. We'll go with that for now. Durability is crap. It's gonna have to get replaced soon. But we also got, there it is, an Ujat. Evil Eye carved runestone that improves magic, resist magic. Good for the resist magic. We won't be able to cast magic for quite a while. The ability to resist magic would be nice. Do not kill. Capture. So if you went too close to the little wall showing that group, you'd have to fight them way earlier than I did. But it is a shortcut. If you want to get through this little tutorial area quicker, then you just do it. But it gets us around to this guy. Who is dead already. He leaves us some ammo. This is good. And he leaves us some parting words. They ambushed us. Why do I still live? And there is one thing here. This is our first high sword, which we will immediately replace our dagger with. Now, there's still some bits of this area left. There was that bit of armor that we did see earlier. And our data book says that we have cleared about half of the shrine, the ruins. But there isn't really that much left to do. We've seen quite a lot of the shrine already. So now that we have opened our way forward, or downward as it is, we're just going to keep going. And it is part of the survival bits of Shadow Towers. You kind of need to gauge what you can do versus what your equipment can do. And I don't want to waste the high sword in the tutorial area, because we're already basically out of our dagger. So we'll save it for NG+. And yes, there is an NG+. NG+ will show way different, way more powerful weapons in different places. There are bows and arrows in this game. And there's a lot of item replacements in NG+, which makes it a lot more fun to go stomping around, because it's less a survival horror game in NG+ than it is here. There's no way back. Going down is the only way forward. Where have we gotten ourselves into this time? How is this underneath a shrine? Does the water pool down here? And who is that? To guide you, vile things, I am commanded. There is no escape from this world. Do not oppose the powerful. Serve. Looks a bit like the Witta, or the Snake Men from Dark Souls 3. The tower is far more than an ancient ruin, after all. It's far more than that. Accept. Do not resist. To resist is to just sit down and die, like we saw numerous people above. The only way forward is down. Welcome, everyone, to one of the true faces of the Shadow Tower. In the myopia of the people above, they thought of it as a shrine or a temple, and it is far, far stranger than that. You will come to love these doors. This tower rose from the dark abyss in ancient times. Oh, look, a Cune. Ah, fooled you. You can't get it. If you're faster, you will die. He has no time for us. A human visits our world. What does it want? We accept our fate. We exist only to serve. Pretty sure it's serve, not exist. Human, are you another who seeks the spear? We came from the abyss. Your mind could not comprehend our world. We too are trapped in this darkness. Here, some are exalted as lords because of their power. Defeat the 7 lords to be called Destroyer. Destruction proves your power. If you seek power, find the lords. And there's your goal. The spear is something they talk about, but it isn't something your character really knows about other than, oh, there's a spear. It was held by a great king. That king is gone now. It's over here in the Shadow Tower. It's a MacGuffin, but it's not like poised as something you super want. But your actual goal is you need to defeat the lords and become Destroyer, because it poises the spear as your only way out. And the spear allowed the king great power, because the spear was power. Long ago, one of your kind took the spear from this world, but now it is returned. Who knows their end? Maybe they still wander this world. Before we go through the other doors, let's go through this one. Take that cue. Let's hit this door first. We'll go over what our points are. So this is your purchase item shop. You can buy and sell, and it is also your item box. You can put item, you can draw item. It's your item box. Very important to store what you are not using and a backup weapon in your item box. You can buy a whole bunch of things, and you will see the new on there. And you can see how it would affect your stats immediately. You can also check out the item descriptions. Crown holding a magic green gem. Powerful Death Ash magically restores equipment durability by 50. Very good, very rare. Light duty leather gloves. Simple tanned leather armor. Durable self-defense knife, and it blinds, which is very nice. Pretty much the same thing. Tan leather boots with low defense. And nothing else. So we also have a round helm, a fear round helm, barrel helm, a shishak, and some goggles. One of the things about the Shadow Tower is that it has been there for so long, and it has taken in sacrifices from many different areas of the world, through different wars, through different fights, warriors, that all of these items are just kind of floating around together. The other thing about the Shadow Tower, because I don't want to be too coy about the twist, because the twist doesn't actually get said in the game, is that the Shadow Tower is a spaceship. It's an organic spaceship. It is a tree that grows backwards. The roots are in the air, and it grows through the ground. The leaves burn in the sunlight, which is why it does that. This is all art book only material. It's an organic spaceship. And basically the floor that we are on right now doesn't get named, but it is the steering floor for the spaceship. And it is through their perception that they think of it as the abyss and the darkness. It's a very strange thing. You can buy your healing potions, your magic potions, your anti-venoms, ammo, and ammo. We won't be getting the other like guns for a while. Gloves. Lamar gloves, metal hands. How many Q do I have? I have 7. I think I'm gonna buy the gloves. No bracelets, and there are some boots. We have 4. Combat boots is 130. I'll buy the combat boots. Our next point is our repair shop. Repairing in this game and in Shadow Tower. The currency is your health. It doesn't take cues, it takes your health. So you repair items with your health. Say a small combat knife, you use your health to repair it. and it gets repaired. So the strategic thinking is you will burn through your health, fixing all your stuff, and then you eat a health potion, which brings you back to full. Very useful if you have a good weapon and you don't have something else you really want to use at that point. So there's another door right here. And we meet our first NPC. The human speaks. Is it brave or stupid? Hunted one, did you think I would help you survive? Power alone rules in this tower. Show me power or die. Perhaps if I open the way, it will prove its power. And that is Rurufon. But we have 2 more points of interest. The red one is our healing. Healing in this game is it takes the durability from your items and it heals you. It is not a thing you want to use that much because your durability is how you live in the Shadow Tower. But if you want to burn through something you're going to sell anyway, you eat your durability and you heal yourself. There's a lot of cost-benefit analysis that you have to do with this. It's where the survival horror aspects of this game come in. And we've already met that one. So the other door leads to the next floor. And since I'm doing these floor by floor, we are going to save and we're going to end today. Thank you very much for joining me on episode 1 of Shadow Tower Abyss. Thank you to Jeremy Greer for being our hunted one in the prologue. And thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you next time on Shadow Tower Abyss. I will never get the circle X button correct. See you later, everybody.